Hi everyone, happy new year to you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I do hope you find this useful, and I do hope you subscribe and click on the notification bell as well, so that every time I post new content you will be notified. Today I really want to talk about the application of the SWOT analysis to you, or to me, to a person, instead of applying it to an organization. So most times when we hear of the SWOT analysis, we talk about analyzing organizations, analyzing situations, right? So for some of you who may already know, or for those who don't know, SWOT means strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Most times, as I said earlier, we use it to analyze an organization or a situation. But this year, as we try to, channel ourselves for better growth opportunities, I want us to also use it to analyze ourselves as individuals and how we position, ourselves for growth. So if you think about S for strengths, what are your strengths? What are your strengths as far as your career is concerned? What do you do very well? So this could be based on feedback you've received from your manager, your colleagues, stakeholders, people you've worked with, and what they have to say about you. It could even be based on what people have said about you in the past, on different, career opportunities you had, or different roles you've worked in before. What are the good things people have had to say about you? What strengths do people say you have? What are those areas where you are really good at? Areas where you're shining, area where you're exceeding expectations, area where you're really areas where you're very confident. You're very confident in those areas and you have no fear at all. Now, those key areas, you should document them as your key strengths, okay? What you do very, very well. And then we move on to the weaknesses. Everybody has a weakness, so nobody is perfect. Most people shy away from this particular area because they don't want to come across as needing support, or needing to brush up, things like that. No one is perfect. No one is perfect in life, and no one is perfect as far as our professions or career is concerned. Okay, so there are always areas of improvement. Again, this could be based on feedback from your manager. It could be based on feedback from your colleagues. What have they said to you that you need to improve on? Usually through maybe appraisal or performance review, your manager would have said one or two things, or your colleagues if they do the 360 feedback approach, or even from your own personal analysis about yourself. When you work, the areas where you struggle a little bit, areas where you need help, areas where you're not as confident as you should be. You need to identify those areas. It could be presentation skills, it could be how you create reports. Some people prefer to speak than to write, so they prefer meetings than to create documentation. That's fine. It could be an area you need to improve on if you work in an organization that requires it. You see what I mean? So as I said, no one is perfect. We all have areas where we're a bit, we're not as good as we should be. Document those areas, start to look at what you can do to improve those areas. Now, it could be that you have to, speak to your manager to work with you, maybe give you opportunities where you can then, try to improve without judgment, you see, and then they give you feedback, and then you keep working on it till you get better, things like that. Now, let's look at opportunities. So we're still talking about SWOT. So we've spoken about strengths, we've spoken about weaknesses. Now let's talk about opportunities. In your organization alone, there are opportunities. In the industry, there are opportunities, right? Now, there could be opportunities within your organization for secondment. So where you are assigned to another team that you've never worked with, to go and work with them. There could be volunteering opportunities where, as part of what you currently do, you take on more work, right? This will help you to grow and to develop new skills. So sometimes if you want to move into a particular career path where you're new or you don't really know what you're doing yet, or you're not really sure of what it involves, you could ask for a secondment opportunity to be posted to those teams or to that team who is doing, those roles. And then you can work with them to kind of, have insights into what they do. And if this is truly something you will be interested in. So you could also ask to, volunteer for projects, things like that, so that you can grow. People can, meet with you, see your skills. So there are always opportunities within organizations or within an industry. Another type of opportunity you could think about could be networking opportunities within your organization. There are events sometimes where maybe you will meet more senior people or even junior people if you're a senior person, just to meet with them, talk to them. And in networking, you never know. You just never know who will see you, who you will talk to about what you're currently doing, who can recommend you for a more senior role, things like that. So there are always networking opportunities. There are training opportunities as well. So there are some trainings that maybe they are not mandatory, but you see it as, if I take this training, I could put it on my CV or my resume, and I can, use it to move between roles. You see? So there are training opportunities that you can do, even if they are optional, if they are not mandatory trainings. Go and read about it. If it's something that catches your fancy, you can go and, do the training, and you never know where that can lead you, right? So I've spoken about training opportunities. I've spoken about networking opportunities. I've spoken about volunteering opportunities, secondment opportunities. Identify those opportunities within your organization. You could also identify opportunities within your industry. So if you want to move from one organization to another, you could identify opportunities in a sister company or in another company, that does a similar thing to what your organization is doing within the same industry. And then you can move there if, you're allowed to, or if you qualify for the requirements to move, things like that. So document those opportunities that you have this year and start to find ways to tap into them. The last but not the least are threats. So we've spoken about SWOT. We've spoken about your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, whether we like it or not, in organizations, there are always people that are more senior, more skilled than you, better than you. Sometimes those people could be a threat to you. So for example, if there's someone who is more skilled than you, that person can be a threat to you when it comes to promotion, or when it comes to, looking for someone to move into a more senior role. Most likely it may not be you, it may be them who will be considered because they have better skills, or they are just, better than you. Now, this is not for you to start to show negative vibes towards a person who is better than you. Don't do that. But you could identify that person as a threat to your promotion, not in a negative way. It's just for you to see, okay, what does this person have that I don't have in this organization that I need to also start to, work on? That is, excuse me, a threat that you are aware of. What skills does that person have? Especially if you admire them, especially if they are in a role that you like, or you like how they work. Most likely, if that person is better skilled or better suited for certain opportunities, if they have the skills and you don't have it, they will pick them over you. Let's be honest, okay? So that person can be a threat to you if you are also interested in that role. You see what I mean? So identify those threats, even threats to your organization. What are the things that are likely to affect our company this year that could affect my role in return? What are the things that can affect my role too, even within the organization? What are the things that can affect our industry that could crash my company? It could be anything, it could be political rules, it could be a legal issue, So document all those threats that you see and start to think of how you can strategically either avoid it or build your skills in a way that you can cope when that threat happens. For example, if it's a threat to your organization and your organization goes under, do you have the skills to be able to find another job in another organization? Why wait till that issue even happens? You see what I mean? So be aware of it. Now, we've spoken about all the elements of SWOT. The reason why it is good to do this is so that you can start to think of your action plan for the year, so that it's not vague. A lot of people say, oh, I want to create a vision board, I want to create a plan, but they don't even know how to start, or they don't even know what the content of the plan should be. This is an example. This is not all there is to planning, but you can start from here, and based on your weaknesses, as I said, you have plans to start to, improve. That can go into your plan for the year, or for yourself, or for the quarter. You can start to then split things out. This is what I'm going to do in January. This is what I'm going to do in the first quarter. This steps I'm going to take in the second quarter. This one I'll do in the third quarter. And then I'll start applying for a senior role. Things like that. Okay. Also, I wanted to say that as part of opportunities, right? There are opportunities within your company for you to even move to another role. But sometimes we don't apply. We let them bring people from outside. Now, that is okay. They would always hire. They would always bring people from, the outside into the organization. That's not an issue. But I am referring to roles that you can do, Why not go for those roles? Apply for those roles. They will give you, those roles will give you more income, more visibility. Instead of someone external coming to take it, you can position yourself in a way that you're able to tap into that opportunity. What's the worst that can happen? They'll probably say no, or they wouldn't give you the role. But that's okay. You continue to try, and eventually you could even move to another organization. There are no boundaries, no barriers at all, except things that we've set in our minds. So this year, I want you to work on that plan for yourself. Think about what you can do to be better in your job, in your role, or to things you can do that would move you to a more senior role, things that can give you an opportunity to earn more money. If it's training, if it's upskilling, do it. Based on your SWOT analysis, you will be able to identify different plans or different steps that you need to take. By the way, be truthful to yourself. This is you doing it for you. No one else is doing it for you. So you don't have to be shy. You don't have to hide from the truth. Face it. Be honest with yourself. Be critical of yourself, not in a negative way, as I say, but be honest, be transparent, be open, be objective. Let's tear things down so we can build it up the right way. All right. I hope you found this video very useful. You can drop your comments or questions in the comment section, and I'll be glad to answer you. If you need help conducting the SWOT analysis as well, you can let me know, and I'll see what I can do to help. Take care and have a good 2023 ahead. Bye.